We made it. Season 4. I'm so excited. Welcome to the home front. We have made it to the end of July, and
We made it to the end.
the last bit of Stranger Things that we have for now until season 5, which
Well,
what I
not
understand,
entirely. We'll have a little something this weekend.
we will have something this weekend. Yep,
Talking about
as
our speculations for season
July
5.
has just been Stranger Things month. Maybe we'll just do that every year. We'll just reevaluate and
Stranger
just
Things?
redo all the seasons every July.
I'm fine with that. I've been having so much fun going through it. And,
Oh yeah.
we do our usual stuff, but also it's been nice to kind of break the mold a little bit and just chat things we enjoy up. Just
Yeah.
talk it up and be like, that was so great.
It's also nice to have some kind of through line because when you're just on one subject, doing Stranger Things like over and over, but like building it and doing each season differently, it's been fun because you can keep it all in your head and doing it in this sequence. So, 2 thumbs up. I would definitely do this again. We'll probably do it with other series. We'll see. But Stranger Things, we have made it to season 4, and this is your first time through it, correct?
Yeah, I skipped
Okay.
out on it before because I was kind of put off by seasons 2 and 3.
Right.
But I've had a change of heart on those seasons.
Yep.
They're very good. And I went in for with an open mind, and I think with the right filters, I felt like I just understood what the Duffer Brothers were doing much better. And so that helped my appreciation. And season 4 is awesome. I loved it. It was killer good. It's 5 out of 5. Do you like it better than season 1?
Ooh,
Let's table that question. We'll revisit that at the end of this.
I'll have to think
conversation.
on that. That's a tough one. Goodness.
I think the fact that it's not an immediate answer goes to show just how great it is.
Yeah.
It makes you stop and think.
Really give that one some thought. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't exist without season 1, but at the same time, it really raised the bar. So let's start on that then. Okay, so you had season 1 and 2. We've gone through the CR series on Stranger Things, but 1 and 2 kind of blended together. 3 had some growing pains. 4 found its footing and it took off running. I really don't have much in the way of critique of this season in general, and it was just it keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole thing. Like this was the definition of not only binge watching but cliffhanger. So I was watching when it came out. The minute it came out, I was like on it. I was there, and it did it in separate parts, which we had discussed during the season 5 trailer because it's doing the same thing with season 5.
Okay, yes.
So it released in a batch. I forgot how many episodes it was, but then it released the second batch, and the next it was a couple months later or something like that. So, and that was when you got the really long episodes at the end there.
Yeah.
But we had to wait for them. It was rough. So I was watching, and then you got to that end, and I binge watched the crap out of this, and I was like, man, I'm gonna have to wait now. And it just made me like, well, you know what? I'll just go watch seasons 1 through 3 again then while I wait. So I did. Yeah. So I love Stranger Things. If you couldn't tell, I think the show is phenomenal.
And it's nice to be live and just saying, I loved this. It was so great.
So good.
Because we usually torture ourselves for your entertainment. But this was just us enjoying
your entertainment through and through. And I hope that you enjoy the videos we do on it. Okay, so like I said, this hits ground running.
So you define this one as like the culmination, right?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
On so many different levels. It just took all those seasons and everything that was great about them and just puts them all into one. And then it builds even further. So we were talking about some of the inspirations of these other seasons. We were talking about what makes Stranger Things. This one was like, hey, we're going to put all that in there, and then we're going to get into all that other stuff in the 80s that we haven't touched yet. So season 3 really harped on a lot of the horror elements. This one jumped into the horror, but added in all the like slasher films of the time, which was so much fun. So great. And I think that was what you said in the previous episode was that I had mentioned that these were the things that kind of inspired 4. So you went into it with that filter, and it was like, yeah, okay, I see what they were doing here. See our previous mini episode on all the things that we thought inspired Stranger Things that are in there. Okay, so I think we should start with a clip. So with that, I'll set it up a little bit.
Okay.
What we've noticed with Stranger Things in each of their first episodes is that they do it subtly, they do it really well, but they do this roadmap thing. They're like, here's what's going to happen in the season, and we're going to disguise it so it just looks like part of their everyday lives.
Yeah.
But it's going to mirror exactly what you're going to see through the season. So season 1 is an excellent example. It's them playing D&D. They run into the Demogorgon. Will gets captured, and then shortly thereafter he gets captured.
Yes,
and
in real life.
Exactly. So it's Stranger Things life, but whatever. So this one does the exact same thing. So it's like poetry, so that they rhyme. They they do something
Nice.
similar. Um, they show that Lucas has now become a basketball star. So he's playing the game, and he has to
Well,
abandon.
he's on the bench, but he's on the team.
But he's on the team. He's got to be present. And then he abandons the Dungeons and Dragons session, which is now official. They've actually started a club. It's called the Hellfire Club. So the other members have to go and find a replacement, excluding Will. He's not there because he's in California.
Yeah, he moved away.
So Dustin and Mike have to find a replacement for Lucas, and they choose Lucas's little sister. They jump in. The new character Eddie, he explains that the character Vecna is still alive. They have to go up against him. He's really hard to kill.
Mhm.
And they all say, "We're gonna go to the death." And then they parallel the Dungeons and Dragons game with the basketball game. And so you're
Mhm.
watching them side by side. They get to a point where Vecna's kicking the poop out of these characters. And so they call a timeout, and then same thing in the basketball game, they call a timeout, and this is where the clip starts. Do you have anything else to add before
No,
we
I
jump
think he
into
summarized it perfectly,
Okay.
so go for it.
it or not? But
Yeah, I like that about his character too, because he's starting to come across as very self-absorbed, but he's more like he's just kind of very narrow-minded.
Yes.
So like when he sees it happen in a tangible way, hey, Lucas just scored the point. Okay, well he won us the game, so there
Right.
goes the credit.
Right.
But it's like unless he sees it happen, it won't happen. So it's on my shoulders.
Right. Well, he's the leader, and he takes it very seriously.
Yes.
So we get introduced to a couple of characters here. Obviously, Eddie is one of them. This basketball player, I can't remember his name for some reason.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
It doesn't stick with me. He's just generic kid.
He's
on the
not that
team.
important to the show, but yeah, he is interesting.
He's more of an obstacle that kind of just shows up constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, it sets up this roadmap. It says this is kind of how the show's going to go. You may not realize this yet, but by the time you've gotten to season 4, you probably are aware of some of their tactics, and I think this is one of them. So that's, like I said, that's my theory. I think that season 4 is that first shot. 11 jumps in, but it's still a failure. There's a consequence that
Oh, I
comes to that
see.
victory.
And then they'll play their hand a second time in season 5
And there's the
then win.
crit hit.
I see. Yeah, I suppose that
That's my
makes
theory.
sense.
We'll see. But
I was thinking like as a roadmap for this particular season because you see like Lucas set up as, he gets the popularity that he asked for. So they just straight up give it to their character and say, yeah, you can have it. And then, it gets poisoned as the season goes on because it doesn't come with the things that he thought it came with.
sure.
And it's sort of a parallel with Steve because Steve
yeah.
had that popularity initially, and then he sees that that's really meaningless. And also too, I think this also affects the basketball player character because he's like in the spotlight and he's like making these speeches at the beginning where he's just like, Hawkins, and everything is just about winning this stupid game or
Right.
whatever. And like even later
We
on,
had a
he's like,
rough year. People have died. There's fires and stuff, but is that going to affect how you think any of those people that died would want us to lose this game, lose this championship? Like, who cares?
Yeah,
It's a high school basketball. Like, what?
It's like leveraging this awful
I know.
tragedy to like hype everybody up for this stupid game.
But he
It's
pays
like,
that
what a
off
jerk.
later, and it's fun.
Yeah. Well, even with him too, because I like how he kind of has this moment later where he says, he's like, well, no, Chrissy would never have gone to Eddie for drugs.
Right.
Like that wouldn't have happened. She would have come to me. And it's like, yeah, because everything has to do with you, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah, everything has to be
Like
filtered in
half
through him.
self-absorbed, but
Yeah.
not quite. He's an interesting character. But yeah, he added definitely to the world of Hawkins and Stranger Things for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so basic setup of the show, fantastic. Follows the lines of Stranger Things as it's been going so far. Swing and a hit.
One
Bada
other
bang.
symbol in there, though, too, that I want to get into now because I don't know if it'll come up naturally otherwise, is the idea that throughout this season, they start to get like he's the one who propagates the fear
Mhm.
of like these D&D players. They're just like
Right. They're cultists.
They're cultists.
They're Satan worshippers, basically. We gotta find them, track them down.
We got to get our pitchforks out.
Yeah, exactly.
and get these guys. And so they establish what Hellfire is for the viewer, but then like how the rest of Hawkins really just watches the basketball game, right?
Right.
So they don't see. And you guys said an excellent point before. You were talking about how it's like this depiction of like America at the time
Yeah.
of just like how they viewed D&D when that was rising. It was, oh, it's satanic, it's horrible or whatever.
Then you play it once, you're like,
Not really.
not quite. It's not right.
It's like we just totally misunderstood
Right.
the game and the people who play it. And that's exactly what so many of the other characters do, because now the main cast is trying to fend off the upside down world. And throughout that process, it's becoming more and more apparent to other people that it exists.
Or that
I mean,
it's
like, there's a
bleeding
straight
over,
up
yeah.
body count in
Yeah.
this one.
Right.
And usually it's like one, maybe two victims. One usually comes in either at the end or the beginning, something like
Or
that.
goes missing or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, but this one is just like boom, boom, boom. Like 3 episodes in, and it's like there's a death every episode, and you're like, like they're literally coming after everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was also like it added a lot of gravitas to like some of these subjects, both like within themselves, but with also in the historical context as well.
Yeah, and it was interesting the way that they played on it in order to feed into the narrative of the show, because that is an actual fear that was existent. You know, it still kind of is in certain communities for Dungeons and Dragons, and then like I was part of the homeschool community, and everybody had a thought about Harry Potter was the big one. Like,
Pokemon for me, yeah,
Yeah,
they were just like,
Pokemon.
oh, it's
Demonic,
monsters,
like-
demonic.
Pokemon, like
Right.
what? Same thing. They're like, yeah, like J.K. Rowling's an actual witch, and there's real spells in that book.
IRL.
It was like, did you guys read the book?